Welcome back to The Haunted Beard, everybody. My name is Jake. Thank you for joining me once again. Today, I want to give you my review for You'll Never Find Me. This is the latest horror thriller film from Shudder that just dropped, and this is one that all takes place in one single location over a dark and stormy night. Got some thoughts about it? Let's get into it. You'll Never Find Me tells the story of Patrick, a strange and lonely resident who lives in a mobile home at the back of a trailer park. After a violent storm, a mysterious young woman appears at his door seeking shelter from the elements. So like I said, You'll Never Find Me takes place in just one single location in this guy's mobile home unit. And it really takes place over the course of one night. It kind of plays out like in real time, and you've really, for the most part, have only these two characters. And I like this type of presentation for the most part. I typically like kind of closed, isolated locations with just a small cast of characters. I like the kind of stage play type presentation, and that's what You'll Never Find Me has. There's also a mystery element to the movie as well, just in terms of its like presentation. And really, as the events of the movie unfold, it unfolds in a very slow and gradual way where they're just revealing little bits of information at a time. And the mystery element really has to do with the context of the movie as we're trying to understand the things that are said between the characters and what unfolds. We're trying to understand the proper context to it all so we can understand and interpret what exactly everything means. And so as the film progresses, the young woman starts seeing these, kind of like red flags, and she starts becoming fearful and concerned and a little bit paranoid as she starts perceiving Patrick as a potential threat. Only we're not really sure if she's seeing things in the proper way. And so the film slowly builds on that sort of dynamic. You've got this older, strange man who comes off as a little bit creepy, and she's trying to figure out if he's safe and is okay. And so there's definitely this sort of dynamic. The film does a pretty good job kind of putting you into the woman's perspective and seeing things through her eyes and how she interprets things as potentially more scary than they actually are, and she's just very on guard. And so, like I said, the movie does a good job kind of putting you into her headspace and seeing things from her point of view. And so I think the film handles that aspect pretty well, and overall, I think the directing here is pretty strong. The film looks really good. I don't know what the budget is, but like a lot of these Shudder movies, they are, smaller films, lower budget films, but the film looks really great. And it gives off a really nice vibe and atmosphere. Again, just considering it all takes place in this guy's little mobile home, but what they're able to do with just some of the lighting and the camera angles and the shadows, it just contributes pretty well to the overall atmosphere. Also, the sound design is really good. Just kind of the classic dark, stormy night approach with the lightning coming through the shades and just the thunder and just the wind that you can hear outside and the rain beating against the mobile home, and the roof is creaking, and there's all sorts of these just creaks and stuff like that. And there's also some things going on where you hear like these sort of distorted, muffled voices and sounds. And so just from a visual perspective and the sound design is all really well done here. But the main issue that I have with the film, though, really comes down to the writing, as this is a film that starts getting a little slow. It starts feeling a little repetitive as it keeps sort of hitting the same notes, and it just kind of comes back to the same thing. And it's a story that is probably stretched out a little bit longer than what it really needs to be. And so not only does the film feel slow and the story feel stretched a bit too thin, but the last 15 minutes or so, the final sort of direction that they take the story is what really bummed me out and was pretty disappointing. As the film progresses and things are revealed, you kind of figure out that, okay, we're going to get to about the last 10 or 15 minutes. There's going to be one kind of final twist or one sort of final reveal that's going to, cap everything off and everything's going to kind of come together. And the way they decide to end the movie, sort of the final twist that they give it, Man, I just wasn't a fan of it, unfortunately. And actually rewound and like watched the last 10 to 15 minutes of the movie a second time because at first I was kind of confused because I was like, is that really what they did? Like, I wanted to make sure I understood, like, is that really the direction? That's really the decision they made to end this movie on that note? And yeah, it is. And I just found it to be kind of just nonsense and ridiculous. And like I said, pretty disappointing. And really, I think the last 10 minutes, how it's executed really summarizes my overall thoughts on the movie. And in terms of, again, the directing, it's really strong. How the director visualizes and edits and executes the final, climactic sequence of the movie, it's really well done. It's really well shot. It's effective. It's engaging. It looks good. It has some kind of crazy creepiness to it that I really liked. But it's all within the context of the script and the decision and the angle that they take to end the movie on. It's all just like, that was just a really bad decision to end the movie on. And so it's kind of this sort of bittersweet thing. And so overall, there is some good stuff here. There is some stuff to appreciate, but the script just let me down. And so I don't even really know what to give this one as far as a grade or, a number out of 10, because it's such this, like, this aspect works really good, but this aspect doesn't. And it's like, I don't know how to average it all out, right? The directing, I think, is like an 8 out of 10. And the story and the script writing is, like a 5 out of 10. And then the last 10 minutes from a script perspective is like a 3 out of 10. Whereas the last 10 minutes from a directing perspective are like, again, an 8 or 9 out of 10. So I don't know how you want to average all those numbers out. I'm not really sure. But yeah, you might like it. So, maybe give it a shot. Like I said, there is some stuff here that I think works pretty well, but just the script let me down, unfortunately. So those are my thoughts. But hit me up down below, though, if you've seen this. I would really like to hear your thoughts on it. Let me know what you thought of the ending and, if it worked for you and why you liked it. So would love to hear from you. Well, that is all I got for you, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. If you want, follow me on Letterboxd. I keep track and log all the movies that I watch on there. And if you got something out of this video, do me a favor and do not click that subscribe button unless you want to be haunted by the beard.